And good morning, everyone. This is EastLake Live. I am Pastor Troy. This is
Pastor Ben, and we are glad that you are with us today.
30 minutes or 40 minutes of information and inspiration. It was every day for 6 weeks, but now it's every week on Friday at 10 a.m., and we are here in our new multi-million-dollar set that they built during the 6 weeks. And we have a live studio audience. Would you give it up for our live studio audience? So we are here at EastLake Community Church. This has been a crazy time for the last 7-8 weeks. We've been all in quarantine trying to figure out, but one of the things we've said all along is we're going to get through it, and we know that by the grace of God, we are getting through it.
But today is a big day.
This is a big day.
Big day. Phase 1. Who would have thought phase 1 would have ever been an exciting term, but it is.
I love phase 1.
Yes.
So tell me what it is.
So phase 1 is the beginning of our reopening process as a state.
So you can now leave your house and get one gulp of fresh air, but you have to go back in quickly. Is that right?
I guess.
No.
No. So there are some restaurants, if they have outdoor seating, that are starting to open up a little bit, so you can eat there.
Vinny's is outdoor seating. They were working on it yesterday.
But obviously it's very limited, and so, about 10 people at a time probably.
I hope I can't wait till July 4th. I hope they let us out to celebrate our freedoms. That's going to be so fun.
That would be great. Yes. What else? The mall is opening. So that
Valley View Mall is open.
Non-essential stores are able to open today. Dude, I have a haircut appointment Monday morning.
Really?
Yes.
That's exciting. So Cora, you're not going back to the same barber you went last time?
No, I'm not. She did okay on the sides and stuff, but I'm a little worried about the top. So
looks like business. Looks like business on the side and party on the top.
Going on here. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Monday morning, first thing.
Yeah.
And so stylist salons are open today, and
church.
Another little things going on. Yeah.
Churches.
Churches are open.
Churches in Virginia are allowed to have 50% capacity. For some, they're going back. For others, they're not going back. So we're going to be talking about church, going back to church. I hope you're looking forward to that, whether it's this weekend or sometime in the next few weeks. We're going to be talking about what we're doing here at EastLake, but we want you to share this video. Would you share and like this video? And today, we're going to give away a $25 gift card to Vinny's Restaurant. You can sit outside and have somebody bring you a refill. It's been 8.5 weeks since someone got you a refill. So Vinny's Restaurant, outside, it's a beautiful day. It's going to be nice all weekend, I think, or assume that it will be. If it rains, it's going to be a terrible meal. But anyways, $25 gift card. You need to share this video, and we want to hear what your church has done, the most creative thing that any church has done over the past 8 weeks. You tell us. Maybe it was this church. Maybe it was some other church. You tell us the most creative thing your church has done in the past 8 weeks, and then we're going to pick a winner, and you're going to get a $25 gift card to Vinny's.
That's cool. So we're here in this lovely mall, and part of this lovely mall is the SML Coffee House at EastLake.
Yes.
And as you can see, they are open. And so if you're a coffee drinker, or you like a good old croissant or a bagel, this is the place to be.
Cup of hot tea.
Mocha.
So Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House started 1.5 years or so ago at the bridge, and they've opened a second location right here at EastLake. So the SML Coffee House at EastLake, Kevin and Sarah Gray, great people that love the Lord. They're doing this for the glory of God.
It's a dangerous thing having them here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very dangerous
thing. You put a quarantine and a dozen croissants in the same room,
and a sweet tooth every now and then.
You're gonna need Jenny Craig. I'm telling you right now. You do that, you're going to need Jenny.
Is that still a thing? Is she still
I don't
a thing?
know. I just thought of that on the spot. I never thought about that before. But anyways, this is a good. So what we're excited about today's show. Share the video. Put in the comments the most creative thing your church or you've seen a church do, and the winner gets a $25 gift card. and some EastLake gear, by the way. So you get a hat, shirt, whatever. So we'll be right back after this commercial from Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House.
And we're back, and this is a special Back to Church edition of EastLake Live.
You put me onto that song, Cochran and Company, called "Take Me Back."
Yeah.
It's all I play in the car now. Take Me Back.
It's a great song for this moment.
It is.
But so we got some really special guests with us that we're going to talk to here in a few moments. But before we do, we just wanted to kind of talk about a little bit what local churches are doing.
Yep.
As we start this reopening phase. So some of these churches, we found info online about what they're doing this weekend. Others, we couldn't find that. If you know what your church is doing and you don't go to EastLake, we'd love to see in the comments what your church is doing this weekend in particular as we begin to reopen. But here's some churches that are still doing some online things: Trinity Ecumenical, Bethlehem United Methodist, Smith Mountain Lake Community Church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Resurrection Catholic. They're all doing online services this week. And
I did hear that Resurrection Catholic Church is going back to church next weekend. May 23rd, they'll have a Saturday evening Mass, and Sunday morning, May 24th.
They said they were going to post some stuff today about that.
Yep.
A couple churches are doing drive-in services this weekend: Radford Baptist, Westlake Baptist,
Stanton Baptist.
Radford. I'm not sure about Radford, actually. I think it's Hales Ford Baptist that's doing a drive-in. But anyway,
So-
I really studied hard on this.
So if you go to
exam.
Radford, drive in, and if nobody's in their car, just
might
get out and
find
go
them
in the
there.
church. It's probably an inside deal anyway. So
And then there are a couple churches that are going live this weekend.
like in person, like show up,
Like in person.
greet
yeah,
each other with a holy mask.
Of course, we're all having to go with the 50% capacity rule and various other things that we're having to work through. But Vitalized Church is having a live service this Sunday at 10:30. And then all the Franklin Heights campuses, their main one in Rocky Mount, Cross Point and Burnt Chimney, and then the Union Hall campus, they're all going live this weekend.
First Baptist in Roanoke is going live this weekend. I think they're doing a little hybrid. Thomas Road Baptist Church is going to be online this weekend, but going live next weekend with 3 services on Sunday morning. Last Friday, our governor really responded to a group of pastors and was really gracious. And I want to give kudos to Governor Northam because he takes a lot of heat from conservatives and particular political conservatives. But we sent him some stuff. He responded, and last Friday shocked all of us by saying, yep, May 15th, churches are in phase 1. You can go back to 50% capacity.
Yeah.
So a lot of churches aren't doing that, but many are, and we're one of those, along with Vitalize, and I don't know about others in the community.
So you said we're going back.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah.
You think we should?
I think it would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known before this moment.
You know what? We've got a new slogan during the last 8 weeks, is if it's more than 2 days out, we got plenty of time to plan it.
Yeah.
And so
Often, if it's more than 2 hours out, we got plenty of time.
yeah, we do. So basically, we are going back to church this weekend. We're going to talk a lot about that at the end of the show.
I did know that, just so you know.
I guess we'll talk about this later. But anyways, we're going back. Vitalize going back. A lot of the churches. You can go to Facebook's a great resource these days. But we are blessed to have, in a moment, we're going to come back with a panel of wisdom. Pastors from sea to shining.
Oh, sorry, you've see.
From coast to coast, from the mountains to the plains, from the deserts of Idaho to the swamp of Florida. We're going to be back with 3 pastors, one of which is a leader of pastors, has 30 or so churches that he's responsible for, and he's got churches in Indiana and Ohio and Pennsylvania. So, but when we go back to church, Ben, introduce this video.
Yeah, so watch this video.
Church Sunday, that's what's up. You ain't never seen a church like this. Yeah, we got lights, cameras, plenty of action. Don't need a suit, man, try relaxing. Got my Chucks on and I'm rocking this plaid. Stainless steel podium, I'm preaching from an iPad. Come as you are, grab a nice ice drink from the coffee bar. So before you raise a white flag and say I'm through with it, take it to church, man, everybody's doing it.
The deacon's on the scene. Check me from the front row to the mezzanine. Got Faye on the pipe organ laying it down. Everybody knows I run this town. Throw me a mic and I might surprise ya. Meet me at the water and I'll baptize ya. Yo, wait for my signal. Now bust out the hymnal.
Back to church, we going back to church. Put the fam in the van, man, back to church. Back to church, we going back to church. Everybody in the nation, find a location. Back to church, we going back.
Yo, I get it. It's been a while, maybe a small church is more your style. Trust me, you'll be glad you came. Like cheers, everybody knows your name. I'm not here to judge or nitpick. Just get down to the church picnic. Back to church, it's a celebration. What you waiting for? Here's your invitation.
Oh! Now I hope that you're ready, cause when daddy hit the stage, it's about to get sweaty, we get wild. When I flow like the Nile, got you dancing in the aisle saying, ooh, child. Now please, somebody wave your hanky at me, and can I get an amen from the back seat? Amen. Back to church Sunday, it's not a wrong main time for a comeback. Boomerang.
Back to church, we going back to church. With the fam in the van, man, back to church. Back to church, we going back to church. All of the people get to a steeple. Back to church, we going back to church. With the fam in the van, man, back to church. Back to church, we going back to church. Everybody in the nation, find a location.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much every genre of church right there in that video.
I don't think it really needed an introduction.
No, you did it perfect. You set that thing up. You teed it up like a golf ball on a 6-inch tee. It was incredible.
You know,
So-
I've worked hard.
Yeah, you have.
Practice.
Hey, we're wondering, we've been wondering, you know, back at church, this is the first time in history that we know of that church has been canceled. You can't go to church. And all across the globe, church has been canceled. And it's been a new thing for all of us in America. We are joined today with 3 guys who are in Idaho, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania represented, and Florida, South Florida.
Yes.
So we're going to invite Matt Elson, Keith Wagner, and Chris Cravens to join us. They are live with us. Welcome to EastLake Live,
What's up, guys?
Good morning.
Great to be with you.
So just by quick way of introduction, Matt Elson is the senior pastor at Hope Sound Bible Church in Hope Sound, Florida, which, by the way, Matt, I don't want to, I've got ADD, but I got to ask you something. Is Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Phil Mickelson, and Tiger Woods really playing that tournament in Hope Sound?
Yes, at the medalist, from my understanding.
They didn't ask you to play?
No. They didn't even ask me to caddy.
We have some cool things at the lake, but we've never had Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning do a golf tournament in our town.
Hot spot for golf.
So you're at Hope Sound, Florida. Keith Wagner is the pastor of Grace Bible Church, senior pastor, a multi-site church in Nampa, Idaho. Keith, welcome this morning. It's great to see you.
Great to be with you.
And Chris Cravens is the conference president of the Heartland Connection of Bible Methodist Churches in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania. Chris, am I missing any states there?
Kentucky?
Oh, pretty close. You got them all.
Hey, good to see you, Chris, Matt, and Keith. So I'll just start by saying this has obviously affected you guys a lot over the last 8-9 weeks. Matt, let me just begin by asking you, what was the last Sunday you had church, and where are you in this moment?
I believe it was March 22nd, I believe is what it was. We was anticipating, obviously, continuing going on, but everything shut down. We've seen our attendance grow
That's cool.
for the last few weeks. Yeah, we've seen, I think over the Good Friday and Easter weekend, our online crew was telling us we had anywhere from 8 to 10,000 people in church on Good Friday and Easter Sunday morning. So that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Why would you go back?
For my sanity's sake.
Yeah, no, I hear you. That's awesome. Keith, how about you guys? When was the last Sunday you had church, and what's it been like?
I think it was March 22nd, 1992 is what it feels like.
March 22nd, 1992.
Yeah, I actually believe it was, man, I can't remember if it was the 15th or the 22nd.
It all kind of runs together, doesn't it? It all just...
Yeah, that's right. It's all blended together.
Yeah.
My wife and I were arguing the other day over what day it was in the week because it's hard to keep track. Turns out we were both wrong.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you are the conference president. You pastored for many, many years, and now you're the district leader or conference leader over a group of churches, about 30-some churches. So talk to us about Indiana, Pennsylvania, Ohio. What's the path been like for your churches?
Well, it hit us suddenly too, like everybody else. Almost don't know that beginning Sunday because it hit us so fast. It was like, but it was about the same time, mid-March when it happened. And, the pastors and the congregations just really came to life. I mean, I know that it placed everybody in a lot of discomfort, but we saw the churches really rally and do a lot of cool stuff, adapt fast, and we've seen some great things. So we're starting to go back. So things are reopening.
Okay.
And but I hope some stuff's happening that's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
It started with results.
So Matt, what are some ways you guys have stayed connected with your congregation through all this? Obviously, online streaming services, but other ways that you've stayed connected with your people?
It's kind of neat. Not only in our congregation, but we've found a pretty cool way to be connected with some of our community people. I think one of the pastors on staff suggested that we do like a pause and pray tent out front of our church because there's so many people who walk the corridor of Gomez, right, the main drag right there, and we put up a tent out there. We put up a wooden box for prayer requests. And it's just been amazing. I mean, many people just walking, riding their bikes, stop, put in a prayer request. We've been connected with people who are saying, hey, pray for my son. He's a drug addict. Pray for my son's family about ready to split. And many of them leaving their names. So we're getting a lot of connections to our community through this. So that's pretty awesome, I think. But through our church congregation, we've our board of directors and all the pastoral staff. Every week we get a call sheet, and we just go through the alphabet, and everybody calls a certain amount of people each week. Report back what's good, bad, and ugly. Mostly we try to stay away from the last part, but the good, the bad, and discuss those things. And then we did a video, went around campus down here. Had everybody standing outside and just kind of in the middle where everybody was just very low and just everybody gave greeting, and then we played that in church, just different things like that. And graduation now, we're getting ready to have a drive-through graduation from the church saying, hey, we love you guys, but, sorry this has to be this way, but it's unique. Yeah. We hate it.
It's interesting how different churches in different localities can do different things to be effective. If we did the tent out by the road where people walk by, in the last 8 weeks, we'd have prayed for 2 people. Both of them had flat tires. No, we've certainly done our own rural things here, but that's incredible.
Yeah. What about in Idaho, Keith? How are you seeing the interaction with your community actually through this time? Is it growing too?
Yeah, actually, you know what Matt was saying, we've seen that as well, especially initially, this big surge in being able to connect with people.
We got busy pastors on here. We knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. It's all good. No, but there are three things that we focus on initially. Number one was connecting with and pastoring our church through this, our body. Number two was serving the community. Number three was continuing to produce content so that we could take next steps, be a blessing to the Big C Church. But probably when you talk specifically about serving the community, that's been a big thing. We have a community service coordinator, and we've been working with the city of Nampa. One of our campuses is in Middleton. We've been working with the city leaders in Middleton, Idaho. And so anytime that they have come up with challenges, with needs that they can't meet, they call us. We have teams that we mobilize, send out. We literally have done everything from restocking the shelves at local food banks that were decimated. Our people came together and restocked them, buying groceries and all of that, to delivering groceries, picking up stuff from the pharmacy. And so what's happened is this has been actually an incredible opportunity for us to serve our community. So for instance, like the Salvation Army, a lot of the parachurch organizations here in our area, they have a lot of at-risk, vulnerable volunteers. And so they were showing up, and the needs are still continuing. And so we have teams of people that are on call. So if there's a need at one of these community organizations, parachurch organizations, they call us. Our people step in, volunteer. So that has really been a great way to connect in new ways.
That's really cool. Chris, I want you to, in a moment, I want you to tell us some of the things that your churches how they've adapted. I know they've done some cool stuff, but I want us to go quick to a break. I want you to see where a lot of us are going back to church. We're going to talk about that when we come back after Chris, but I want you to know what not to do.
Yeah.
When you go back to church. Some of you may have forgot.
We've been out of practice.
You've been out of practice, so
we just
you need to know what to do when you go to church, what not to do. This video is really on what not to do. So watch this and we'll come right back.
Do you feel uncomfortable in church, like you just don't belong, or you're not quite connecting? Well, you're not alone. There are many people who feel that way. That's why we've made this instructional video, to give you a few simple tips and pointers to show you how to fit in at almost any church.
Hey, what's up?
First of all, silence your cell phone in church. Don't smoke in church. Don't offer cigarettes to children in church. Don't bring a snake to church. If it's a snake-handling church, they'll provide the necessary reptiles. Don't play an instrument in church, unless you're a sanctioned member of the worship team. When you pray for someone in church, don't address the prayer to Anubis, Zeus, Gilgamesh, or any other pagan god. Don't practice jujitsu in church. Don't come to church straight from snorkeling. Don't do laundry in church. Don't breed ferrets in church. Don't advertise your business at church, at least not in an obvious way.
Here, you guys. Here,
Don't try to have anyone stoned in church. They don't really do that sort of thing anymore. Don't eat crab legs in church, unless you brought enough for everyone.
See, that's wrong.
Don't fact-check the pastor's sermon on Wikipedia and then correct him in church. Don't power clean in church. If you follow these basic steps, you really will start to fit in at almost any church.
Again.
And we are back. I hope you got all those rules and regulations about church, what not to do. But we're back with our panel, Matt Ellison, Keith Wagner, Chris Cravens. Chris is the president of the Heartland Conference of Bible Methodist Churches, covering several states in the Midwest. And so we're asking you, Keith, Chris, what are some things? By the way, I went to college with you, but do I have to call you Bishop now?
No, man.
Okay,
Chris
okay.
is great.
All right. Chris, what are some things you've seen the churches in your connection do during this COVID-19 that has been really productive and innovative?
Well, listening to Matt and Keith, and then you guys, the different approaches and responses. We have churches that are rural,
Yep.
we have churches that are inner city, and to watch really the Holy Spirit give discernment to our guys, and every church is unique.
Yeah.
From the drive-by experiences, the drive-in churches type things like you guys have done, to just sending out letters every week, ramping up communication. Good old-fashioned phone calling is back in full vogue. It's I'm thinking that we're making phone calls again.
Yeah.
And they're well received and appreciated. So our guys have done a number of things unique to their environment, to their society, their culture, where they're at.
Yeah.
And so it's been everything from more of a Keith responding to the city, to just the rural church that the pastor puts a sign out that says, "I'll pray with you," and he sits in the parking lot in a folding chair.
Wow, I love that.
And the neighbors come by, and he just stands out there in the parking lot and prays for them. I mean,
that's cool.
just neat stuff like that. A lot of diversity.
Yeah.
I've seen. It's been really cool to
Do
see.
you guys, is there anything that you've been doing through this that you see yourself continuing even after all this, everything reopens, we're back to normal? Anything that you've started during this whole quarantine thing that you see continuing as a church? Any of you? Do I need to call on you?
I could jump in here real fast. One of the things that, I would definitely be, and especially in our smaller churches, all of our churches have upped their online game.
Yeah.
They have really saw the benefit of investing in better quality of online ministry. And it also has really connected them to community people, key community people, that they'll continue to foster those relationships.
Yeah.
And even our smaller churches, though, it taught them the real importance of flexibility, and then being able to invest in an online footprint. And that's really been key. And I think it will continue with a lot of momentum in our circles.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Matt,
Keith.
I would probably say the one thing that sticks out in my mind is just how this has forced us to think out of the box. I'm very easily in a rut kind of guy. I can get there quickly, and if it's working, you just ride that horse until whenever. Probably longer not to be ridden. But the fact that it's caused us to think out of the box and how we can reach our community in better ways, like Keith was saying, we've had contact with businesses and saying, hey, how can we help? And all of those things, sometimes we can get focused inwardly more than we really want to admit.
Yeah.
And this has forced us to think out of there. And my hope and prayer is that when this is all done, we don't get back to, wow, we're back to church, we got our crew back together. But we say, hey, now with greater force, with everybody with us and able to do it together, let's just take that forward and continue to think out of the box.
I said the other day, unless our church was in revival when this started, we shouldn't go back to what we were. We should embrace something new. And Keith, what about you?
We've looked at a number of different things through this time, and I honestly, I'm busier than I have ever been. The first week, I'm like, actually, this probably is going to be a good thing. I need to rest and relax. Things did not slow down.
Yeah.
However, it's been an energizing time because of, we've had to shift so many things. We've had to evolve in areas that really we weren't prepared to evolve in. But I think there are two things in particular that have been just huge for our church body. Number one was the formalizing of this community impact team.
Yeah.
We have always been a serving church and meeting needs in our community, but and we'll continue to do so through our life groups. But what has happened, we've always asked ourselves, if Grace Bible Church closed their doors tomorrow, would anybody in our community notice?
Wow.
And I think it's a great question to ask. And thanks to the favor of God, and then just the church being the church, they've stepped up. I truly believe that we have created there's some unique opportunities that we need to continue to do. And so we're probably going to just become even more intentional when it comes to our community impact teams. The second thing that for me has been so cool to see is this whole idea of redefining what the church is. It's not the church is not a building to go. Literally, it's people who go. It's people who are the church. Yeah. And man, we have so many cool things happen. People have been led to the Lord by people who might have in the past just said, "Hey, let's bring them to church, and pastor, you talk to them."
Yeah.
And they're going to neighborhoods, connecting. And so we've been talking about this. We don't want to go back to this definition of the church being a building or being a series of services on a weekend. We want people to grasp the idea that it's not about a pastor. It's about us being the body, making a difference. And man, what we've seen already, the fruit from that is exponentially greater than if you're depending on a staff to do this. And so I'm excited about what God has in store. I'll say this. I think the new normal is going to be one of the best things the church has ever seen. It won't look the same. It's going to be one of the best things we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. I want to hear when you're going back to church, but I read this quote this morning. This is the best quote I've read in 8 weeks. When the sun rises again after this bewildering saga, it will be written, God opened more doors outside than inside and spread his word farther under his roof than ours. And that was Jim Plank posted that. I think that's a quote that's his quote, so there's nobody else, but that was such a powerful quote. So anyways, so when you going back to church, real quick, Matt, when do you guys head back to church to do the holy kiss again? I mean, maybe you don't do the holy kiss thing, but when are you going back to church?
No, it's probably away from the holy part of it, but we are planning on heading back this Sunday, the 17th.
Okay, 17th.
17th, we probably would have done it a little maybe last week, but we wanted to stay alive and not tell some others they could come and couldn't come, so we just did it on the 17th.
Do you have any restrictions?
Yeah, we do. We're in Florida. We've been in contact with the Florida Family Policy Coalition with the churches here, and we're at 25%. We're not at 50. We're at 25%. So we can have 200 people in our building on Sunday. And so what we've done is we've tried to divide it by alphabet. And so A through G, because we're a little stronger on the front end of it. So A through G is in the morning, H through Z in the night. And then the following week, we'll do the same thing, but we're just going to switch it. We have greeters and ushers that are going to seat people. So that way they don't have to touch anything. They can go in and sit down. Offering plates will not be a thing anymore, obviously, from the traditional standpoint. They'll just have boxes back there in the back. Yep. And then we'll dismiss by row so we don't have bottlenecks. Just the first couple weeks, just to make sure people are still honor-preferring one another. And that's kind of what we're doing. Our goal is hopefully on the 31st kind of have more of a normal service.
Okay, so the Xerox family gets in at midnight on Sunday night on the back row.
That's right.
No, he's doing it by alpha. I like that. Keith, real quick, when you going back to church, and what's the big deal?
We're going to have an outdoor service on the 24th, and then on the 31st, that will be the first Sunday that we're actually in the sanctuary. And, it's similar. I think we're at 30% capacity right now here in Idaho. By the way, man, we just started phase 2 of reopening the state, actually tomorrow. Wow. And so things are rolling here. I can actually go sit down at a Mexican restaurant tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Not to rub anything. But anyway, we're going to start off with probably 5 services on the 31st. And we'll do that for, probably 2 or 3 weeks, just until we see how things are going. But we're hoping by the end of June, to at least slowly get back to our 3 to 4 weekend services.
That's
approach.
cool. Chris, your churches are probably across the spectrum. Are they going?
Yes.
Some of them gone back. Some of them will be going.
Oh yeah, yeah. Last week, some of them started for the first time, and then this weekend is a big weekend for us, and some as late as the 1st of June. It just depends on again what the local counties, townships, city, what they're requiring, all that kind of thing. So it really varies across the board. So our guys just have their ear to the ground, and when it's a green light, they're going. And
this is it's been really great. It's great having you guys. Thanks for hanging with us for the whole time here today. This is really cool. You know what? Here's one thing about it: the Church of Jesus Christ endures.
Yeah.
The Church of Jesus Christ has weathered war and storm and persecution and abuse, and the Church of Jesus Christ always comes out stronger. And you guys are great examples of men who are leading godly churches and leading godly people. And hey, let's jump in this thing for the last however many years we got. We're all about the 9th hole on the golf course. We're making the turn headed to the back 9. Let's play the back 9 better than we did the first, and let's reach the world for Jesus. Thank you guys for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege.
Good to see you guys. Good. So we've got another video that we want to show you. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with the closing.
Good news with JB.
Good news with JB. And so we played this a while back on the show. It's just kind of showing you what our first day back to church is going to look like. So check it out.
And we're back. We are so excited. Ben, here's the deal. We're going back to church this weekend, right?
This weekend.
We're going back this
Yes.
weekend. Tell us the service schedule.
So we are going to have 4 services, Saturday night at 6 p.m., Sunday morning at 8 and 10, and then at noon on Sunday. Each service will have a capacity max of 200 people. And
that's about 25%
Yep.
of our sanctuary.
Yep.
So the governor said 50. We're going to do half of that.
Yeah, we're going to do half of that. And it is something that you need to register online to be a part of. And I know a couple of those services are filled up at this moment.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when we came into the show today, I think he said that we were 95%
I
full.
think we have
Aaron?
50 some spots left, maybe.
Yeah, so we have 50 some spots. So here's the deal. Make plans. If you're okay, if you feel safe and you're good with it, it's going to be really well social distance. There's going to be 6 feet every which direction from any person from your family, in front, behind, left, and right. It'll be 10 times safer than any grocery store, any home improvement store, any department store. I was going to say something local, but I won't because I love them. But it's 10 times safer than bumping shoulders with people in these places. But here's the deal. We're going to have a great streaming at 10 a.m. Really well done streaming. Our team is doing amazing work. It'll rebroadcast sometime later in the day on Sunday. So you can join us Saturday night, Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon at noon. Or you can stay home and watch online. Just do what you think the Lord would want you to do and what you know will be safe. And if you're at risk, stay home. If you have any symptoms whatsoever of coughing or fever, stay home. We will continue to minister to you. We'll call you. We'll help you. But if your anxiety level is just high about it, it's okay. Stay home.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great stream. You're no less a part of EastLake if you're home than if you're here. But we do have 4 services: Saturday night at 6, Sunday morning at 8, 10, and then Sunday at noon.
I'm in a little bit of a panic right now.
Really?
I am because it's time for Good News with JB.
Good news with the most important part of the show, the most exciting part of the show.
But he's not here. JB's not here.
Planned a day with his wife in Richmond. And last night at 9 o'clock, the government said Richmond can't go into phase 1. Because the government in Richmond said, we don't want to go into phase 1. The governor last night at 9 o'clock said, okay, you're not going into phase 1. So Jonathan and Sandy are sitting on a park bench somewhere in Richmond, drinking a bottle of water,
With
looking
face masks.
deep into each other's eyes through the face mask,
Oh, man.
enjoying phase 0 in Richmond. They could have been here at Vinny's, sitting outside in the beautiful sun, having someone wait on them. But anyways, we love JB. JB's not here.
So what are we gonna do?
Here's the only thing that matters about good news. How many people have recovered? That's all I want to know.
Well, I do have that number.
So if there's somebody in the studio audience that can get within 50,000 of the number, we're going to give them a $10 gift card
Boom.
to the Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House. So how many people, it's over 1 million, it's less than 2 million. How many people have recovered from the coronavirus? Ben, you know where the number is. All right, there it is. 1.6 million. 1.8 million. 1.7. 1.9, and the answer is the corona recovery numbers are 1.675.
The winner.
1,675,000 people have recovered from
That's awesome.
coronavirus.
So when we get to
Pam McKenzie will get a $10 gift card from the Smith Mountain Lake Coffee House as soon as we're done.
Cool deal. So that's great. So we don't want to give any other good news?
Well, there's lots of good news. The good news is JB took a day off and is spending
That
it
is
with his
good
wife
news.
on a park bench with a glass of warm water in Richmond.
We're really happy about
I
that.
wonder if the sun is even out today in Richmond. It's probably stayed in because phase 1 means the sun can't shine, I believe.
Yeah.
Valley View Mall's opening.
Yeah.
What about NASCAR?
NASCAR's coming back this Sunday.
Yeah.
Sports are starting to, I think Arizona said that sports could start in their state with no fans in the stands, which
is, that's the
different,
Florida
but-
Marlins for the last 20 years. No fans in the stands. But anyways, hey, by the way, do you know how NASCAR got its name?
No.
I was watching some cars on the TV, and my grandfather was laying on the couch, and he looked over and he said, NASCAR.
NASCAR.
But anyway, that is not how that happened. Anyways.
Okay.
But anyways.
It's time to close it down.
Magic City Ford in Roanoke. If you own a Ford and you are an essential worker, from now till sometime, they're going to do all free oil changes for you.
That is a cool deal.
That's good news.
That is a good
and
news.
Krispy Kreme's doing something, but they've been on good news about twice a week. Somebody else, some restaurants giving food. That's great. What else?
You're not as good as Jonathan. Let's just
No.
shut it down.
So here's the deal. The good news is that we're going back to church this weekend.
Yes.
God has got us through this. He's walked with us every step of the way. Now, listen, as I wrote yesterday, don't let up. Let's not stop praying, not stop being safe, not stop being thoughtful of our neighbor. Let's not stop relying on the Lord. Let's not stop moving forward. Listen, God's got great things in store for us. We're getting through this by the grace of God, and we're going to look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, Sunday morning, or Sunday at noon. If it fills up, we're online. We may add a service next weekend. But Ben, it's been great today.
Yeah.
Great with our studio audience. Give it up for our studio audience. God bless you. Be encouraged. We're Christians. We'll see you next week.